stretches me, I'll go for hours. I'd go for days if I could. I would just let go every feeling that I own.
The cheese puff. Or Cheetos. These things are like a deliciously dangerous snack. And at the same time, dangerously cheesy. The grocery overlords like scatter this product amongst the potato chips, right? And obviously it's not a potato chip, but a lot of the times it's like a good substitute to the potato chip. Anyways, to get your hands incredibly cheesy. Look, so anyways, Andrew, why are you talking about potato chips? Well, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like when a YouTuber finds some camera that was developed for some specific niche and realize that it's awesome for like a completely different reason. So, enter the Olympus EM1X. This thing is amazing. It's a freaking beast. And it's a wildlife camera, professional wildlife camera, but at the same time, it's a really good vlogging camera. And I'm gonna prove it. Thanks for a spin. Just like that, with the magic of YouTube, we're instantly transported outside to Virginia Lake. That's what's behind me right now. And it's this little man-made lake that's like 2 blocks from my house. I just moved here to Reno, Nevada, so this is it. You know where I live. Say hi if you see me. And this camera is like if a Micro Four Thirds sensor was swallowed by a beluga whale. Like seriously, right? It's like this huge 1DX camera that has this 4/3 sensor. But there's rhyme to reason in that, and there's some method in the madness, right? So because it has a big body, that means it doesn't sacrifice on space. And because it doesn't sacrifice on space, it means it has excellent stabilization. It has great battery life because it has 2 big-ass batteries. And literally, it's like, I mean, if RoboCop had a camera, like if his like side were like, and his like gun came out of this side and a camera came out of that side, this would be his camera. It's like that. It's RoboCop tough. The EM1X is RoboCop tough. And despite all those things, right? Like all those pluses, generally when we're talking about Micro Four Thirds cameras, we're thinking, oh, Panasonic's bad autofocus and poor everything else, right? Because it's this little tiny sensor. But this camera is different. So Olympus went with a phase detect autofocusing system in this camera, and it just didn't put one true pick 8 sensor. It has 2, and one of those is dedicated specifically for autofocusing. So needless to say, the autofocusing is like Canon-like. Like it's really, really, really good. And unfortunately, because it's Olympus, there's 3 reasons why I think that you probably haven't heard of this camera. And I think the best way to tell you about it is if I like walk around, test out the stabe, and tell you all about it. So how do we move from here? Let's whip transition. We'll whip it out. Whip it real good. Ready? 1, 2, and whip. Huh. Sorry, new YouTuber, not used to it. I will. Give me some time. I got like 2 subscribers and like 20 people that I like watch my videos, and those are probably like 20 friends, right? Anyways, so 3 reasons why you probably haven't heard of this camera. Number 1, I mean, in the paying homage to Flossie Carter, price is just too goddamn high, right? So when this camera released, it released at $3,000. Now, shortly after, a rebate got kicked off, and that essentially got dropped to $2,000. Well, how I got this camera was I was cruising around on MPB, no affiliation, and I saw it used for $1,500, so I kind of scooped it up. So, you know, for $1,500, I thought it was worth it, because you're essentially getting a camera that they put $3,000 worth of their hard work and effort into for $1,500, okay? So you're getting 4K 30, you're getting log if you want it, it has 120 and 1080, all that jazz, and I thought it was kind of worth it, right? Anyways, number 2, so Olympus doesn't have a huge market share in the US like Canon, and because of that, a lot of people haven't really heard of this thing. So I mean, I think that's reflective of the price, and this is a camera that I think will get more popular as time goes on, right? I actually have a dream that this thing will be like the legendary camera in like a year. But yeah, and number 3, the fact that it was recently acquired by JIP. Now, I'm a DevOps engineer by trade, right? And I have been through acquisitions in my career, and normally an acquisition means either an absorption or like a crumbling of the company. And in this case, I don't think it's going to be, okay? And the reason is on April 6th, there was firmware version 2.1 for this camera, right? And that means that they're spending money for people to actively develop for it. That's a good thing. And the Olympus reps that I've been talking to have been kind of giving me a little bit of information here. Again, I'm pretty persistent, but they say that an exciting release is, you know, in the future, meaning I think a camera. And there's some lenses that are also in the future. And plus there's a rumor that Olympus is going to be partnering with Samsung for the S22 release. Those things are good news. And I wouldn't be surprised if this camera, once released at $3,000, dropped to $2,000 with a rebate, climbs back up in price if it gets more popular. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, am I a business whiz? Not at all. Just saying, wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, man, I just really think this is a great vlogging camera. And, you know, if you have any questions about it, you know, obviously I'm new on YouTube, so I don't have any affiliation. I'm just a guy that likes gadgets. If you have any questions at all, throw them in the comments below. You know, I definitely have comment space. You know, I'll even make a video for it if you want, you know, whatever you got. And subscribe, like, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.
Once it catches me, I'll go for hours.